It is your boy Justin from Justin Paul Sports doing my first ever live stream. What a great weekend of UFL Week 1 action. That game that just finished right now with Birmingham, the defending champs, three-time champs, on the road in Washington. And Washington losing their coach last week. I mean, they still had Greg Williams on the defensive front, but they were clearly getting to Alex McGough. He got sacked multiple times, got rattled on the last drive. It was a close game. Birmingham, big favorites. I liked them laying the 8.5, especially when a team loses the coach that short of a week on a spring league. You don't really anticipate, even if it's at home and they got the beer snake in Washington, you just don't anticipate a team losing their coach coming out and beating the defending three-time champs like that. So congrats to the defenders on a big win there. And we've also had some pretty good March Madness matchups this week. Right now, Auburn is handling business with Michigan State at the half. Tennessee, whew, Rocky Top got conquered. It was an ugly first half, only scoring 15 points. Saw that was an all-time NCAA tournament record for lowest points in the first half. That is just insane. Thank you for who joined. I am doing this mobile, so I can't really see the comments. This is my first ever live stream, so have a little patience. We also had yesterday, or in today's, yesterday's game, we saw San Antonio, I believe it was, not fare so well. Again, a lot of these spring league games, they're very hard to gauge with the rosters and the coaching changes. I liked Wade Phillips in that one, and he brings a great defensive front, great defensive specialist. He's been in the NFL, had those great defenses in Buffalo, was the coach in Buffalo, and sometimes you just simply cannot get it done if you don't have a quarterback. Again, referring to the game that just finished, Alex McGough was making some good plays, like running down the middle, third and long situations, and he just kept getting first downs. That will frustrate any coach. That will frustrate any team. He put him in a chance for a game-winning drive and just got sacked twice. So, again, this is my channel. This is Justin Paul Sports, and what I do is every day I put a new short up of picks that I like, whether it's basketball, mostly football, but I do like college basketball, and we'll have a few spots for baseball here and there. And throughout this UFL season, what I'm going to be doing is, after the Sunday games, I'm going to be going live and talking about every game from the weekend. I won't be doing them on my phone like I am today. I'm only doing this today because I don't have waiting on a monitor for my desktop, so I can be there and access all the tools and things like that. I have 3 people watching, so thank you for joining. And okay, now I can see comments down there. So great game today. We've had a couple blowouts. On Thursday night's game was an absolute disaster. When you go out there on national television and you're competing against March Madness, you're going to see that your ratings are going to kind of slip. We've got multiple sports events that kind of happen in the spring, to where spring football is going to be a little difficult to grow, along with Major League Baseball's opening day weekend. And I know I'm kind of rambling here. Like I said, this is my first live stream, but I did bet a future on the White Sox. Disclosure, I am a White Sox fan. Caught him at 49 for a win total. That would be historically rotten again. It's very unlikely a team does that back-to-back. And most people can hit, at least 60 wins generally. So I thought 49 was a really low total. And we already got one win on opening day, and the game right now is currently in a rain delay. So maybe they take the series from the Angels. Either the Angels aren't so great, or the White Sox might not just be as awful as everybody anticipates, even with the lack of star power in that team. Luis Robert is the only real legit name that we know. Everybody else is new or farm prospects that have come up in trades. Their pitching staff is kind of neither here nor there. So we will see what goes on from there. Uh, Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for everybody that's tuning in so far. Seeing got some people in the chat. Just want to say that I appreciate it. This is my first live stream, so be a little merciful on me. Just reading the comments here. Hello, Ortega. Hello, Haida. So you get more people to here. We're gonna see. Hopefully, if they search or spread the word through you guys, just to let them know, hey, this guy likes spring ball and all other sports, and I'll have more gambling stuff, especially when the fall hits. College football is my specialty. I'll have NFL. I'll be here to answer your questions. Just type it in the chat. What were your guys' take on the games today? What did you guys think of March Madness? We're in the last one of the Final Four. SEC just crushing it. SEC was just crushing it. I mean, Houston handled Tennessee, like I said earlier. And Auburn is handling business right now. And Duke just looks immortal. Alabama had the #1 offense in basketball, averaging around 95 points a game, and Duke shut them down. That reminds me, the comparison would be Alabama basketball is like Ole Miss football. So with Ole Miss football, they're there. They get to a certain point, just haven't gotten over that threshold yet. Great coaching, move the ball up and down, but they got to get some bigs in there or they will seriously have some issues going on. So, do I have a computer? I do. Play the game so I can play sports games on it. I might do something like that with college football eventually, but not today. Today's just to discuss any sports you want to talk about, any gambling questions. I know it's a little one-sided, and I'll be set up, like I said, I'll be set up soon, waiting on a monitor to arrive. I do think that with some of the UFL games that we had a couple lopsided ones and we had a couple exciting ones. It's kind of the best that you can hope for with this kind of league. And so I get more people in here. Okay, I get that. I appreciate that. I just got to learn how to set all that stuff up, maybe to play some highlights in the background. If you're talking about video games, that's a little less likely. But some subscribers, would definitely be nice. If you like this stream so far, what I have to say about spring ball, by all means, give it a thumbs up. Tell a friend, like and subscribe. That stuff's always free. Helps the channel grow. I put free picks almost every day. They're free. I don't want anybody. Thank you for the subscription. Appreciate that, brother. Like I said, I'm doing this one on mobile, so I don't know how to thumbs you up or things along that sort, but I'll be sure to follow you back. So, but yeah, we had some good games on the docket. Went black there. Had some good games on the docket. It's a good way to hold over the spring from the end of NFL all the way through like kind of the middle of summer, because this is kind of the dry spell unless you like the NBA, and I don't follow NBA, so you won't get hardly any NBA talk on this channel. It'll be UFL, and then we'll get some Canadian football in here. I do like that, and I do have familiarity with the rosters and the rules and their rude kicks and their long fields and third downs, and it's just a whole different animal, but it is fun to bet on, and I do love to bet on sports. And that's what I'm hoping to get from you. I'm going to give you advice, sound advice, on what kind of wagers you can make. You can look at my track record on all my picks. They're up every day in the short section on my channel. Had a pretty bumpy March. I mean, I had a week last week where it was pretty rotten. Like I went 1 of 10, but then there are times when I'm just on fire. And at the beginning of the year, and I think I might change this quarterly to where I'll post updates of my records of what I've picked against the spreads. I kind of look around to see where I could find good odds. And that way, if you guys tag me, we can see together that you'll have a winning season. If you look there, you'll see last year in the NFL, I absolutely crushed it. And I'm doing very well because of that. Everett says, what's your opinion of the Bears' offseason progress heading the new season? Well, we'll see. Thanks for the question. I think Chicago, last year, #1 overall pick. They've got a top 10 pick again. They're the lords of the offseason. And they've always got a new coach and they've always got new ambition, but they've got that same ownership. And I think that any organization that's successful is going to start from there. And I know that, I've got a Packers hat on. So, of course, you're going to ask me to be objective, and I will be, because first and foremost, I'm a bettor. And when I bet, I don't have any disdain for a team. I bet the lines and bet the overs and bet the unders and play the number. But as far as a franchise, I think that they're going to be on the up. We're going to see their offensive lines a little bit hodgepodge. They let some guys go. They let Tevin Jenkins go, which I thought was a bit of a surprise. And they traded for Thuney out in Kansas City. So it's a bit of a patchwork, but it should be improved. But I think with the Bears, I think the one thing that's going to be unique about watching them this season is they've got a coach from Detroit Lions with Ben Johnson who ran the offense over there and ran those crazy trick plays, throwing the linemen, having receivers throw it, all these unique concepts that you can't really catch on film. With Caleb Williams, the dude has a golden arm. He can make the throws downfield. He can move. You can see there's some decision making there that he can do well. However, I also think with Caleb, when you go back to his he did win the Heisman in his days at USC. Anytime that he kind of stepped up in competition, he didn't really shine. I always thought that was his Achilles heel. And he had a good coach out there. It's not like he just was a prospect of a coach that didn't know what they were doing that got into the pros. USC is coached by Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley had Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield, and those guys have all been successful in the Super Bowl. Caleb Williams going into his second year in a really tough division, in a really tough conference, we're going to find out what he's about. Matt Eberflus just couldn't get those guys going. He lost the locker room, so it makes sense why Chicago canned him. And when it's a new regime in there and he's got more talent than they've kind of had in there, it's just, you have to wait and see. I think they're on the right track, though. Objectively, I think they're on a step up. They finished the season with a win, and we'll see what they do. I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do. So I think the Bears have a better chance than most, but it's an unknown. First-time head coach, second-year quarterback. There's really no veteran presence on that team, either on the side of the ball, a little bit in the secondary. So we'll see. We'll wait and see. Thanks for that question. Hockey, is the game getting better? Not a big hockey person, but I did see that Ovechkin is 5 goals away. Excuse me, I'm outside. See, that guy's running to subscribe right now because he knows that I make these winning bets. As far as hockey goes, I do think a few things about the expansion of the game in the United States. I reside in Arizona, so they took our team and they went to Utah. So by putting these spots, specifically in hockey, putting these teams in smaller markets can work out when there's no other ticket in town. Plus, you got the Canadian series. If we go back last month, they had that the 4-team series with the United States, Canada, Sweden, and I believe it was Finland. That got a lot of notoriety. And I think that, it just isn't going to break the top mold. It's not going to get the coverage in the United States that it will in other places. But Ovi passing Gretzky would be great for the game. And the Stanley Cup playoffs are always watchable, always. So we got that going on. Well, we got 2 sitting in the room, got 2 likes, and just enjoying this weather. Just having a live stream and first time. Like I said, be gentle in the comments. And it's going to be good. I'm going to be here next week. I'll have a little more preparation, have a few more notes on each game, specifically with spring football. I'll be ready for the Canadian Football League when that kicks off. I think that kicks off in June, though. And all the football, another reason about football and betting and basketball and betting is it's easier to bet on those sports, I think, than it is with baseball and hockey, where you got low scoring, so you're more on money lines. And baseball's got its complexities with first inning scoring and just mostly money line stuff. And you're not really going to find any value in things along that sort. But again, we had a couple good UFL games this weekend. This is, the fourth year of spring football. And I think that's a good thing. I was born in the 70s, and the USFL happened when I was real small. So it didn't really grab on that I can remember to American culture. And I think that Americans love the game of football. And because we love the game of football, they want something in the spring to hold them over. Specifically, today's games on the ESPN broadcast, they are embracing the gambling aspect of it. They're embracing it. And what they do is they're putting live lines in the middle of the game. So I think that with those network ownerships, with ESPN and Fox being in partnership with the UFL, it's just a matter of time. They just have to get more people to come to these games, quite frankly. I mean, attendance was roughly around 10,000 across the league. And, on Thursday night, we saw St. Louis put the belt to the butt. So St. Louis kind of really showed that they were ready, and I think that they're a legit UFL championship threat. They ran the ball with extreme efficiency, and quite frankly, I think when you're playing the game of football and you put everything to the sides, it's if you can run the football, and they can run the football with great effectiveness, with great efficiency, and they just played bully ball. I don't think that Houston had a chance in that game. I mean, Houston was the other team that lost their coach. That's kind of why I took Birmingham in the points. I thought that DC would be along the same lines, but Greg Williams stuck around, and he was on the team last year, coaching the team last year. And because he was able to do that, I think they were able to retain some focus. We'll see how they go going forward. Like I said, when you lose a coach and we're 5 days, 6 days from kickoff, in the NFL, you kind of keep your staff and you're well established in the season. When you lose a coach, it's generally crazy to lose your coach before week 1. That's they threw the betting market off. But I mean, the St. Louis, I loved them on Thursday. That was an easy cash, and I thought I would cash with Birmingham. But I cashed with Michigan earlier, and that came down to the end. That got a little hairy. A nice little pick 6 towards the end of the game helped seal the deal. We love to win bets. Love it. There's nothing like gambling. There's nothing like winning bets. That's why I put these picks out there for free, because I want you to win money. I want you to. I don't charge for picks. I never believe in doing something along those lines. I think that if you just follow my channels, or you follow my channels, not channels, not plural, channel, that, if I leave a tip jar and you like and subscribe and spread the word, that'll more than cover it. Eventually I'll have a setup, and I promise over time, the bigger this channel gets, that I'll get more graphics and explain to you and understanding those kinds of things. Am I in Canada? No, I am in Arizona. I know you are cold up there, brother, but it is not Canadian. It is sunshine and mountains where I live. And that's part of my success in gambling. I'm able to live somewhere where it's a little bit warmer and have myself these outdoor amenities in the spring. And and I want to share that with you guys. I don't believe in cursing people when it comes to sports betting. I don't put that on anyone. I want us to be successful. I want us to go and make money and beat the bookmakers. That's the whole point of gambling. I mean, it also feels good when, whether you lay $20 or $2,000, anytime you hit, that's a rush. That's something that we love. That's something that I want to explain to you how I've been successful. You'll see many people out there, you can just go on the internet and say, oh, I went 19-1. If you go 19-1 against the book and you're winning tens of thousands of dollars, 2 things are going to happen. Either you're full of it or the book will ban you. If you're just high rolling like that all the time, it's virtually impossible. Try not to take that bait. This channel is going to be for more of a streamlined experience better, who may look for an edge this way or that way. If you look on my channel page, I've got a video. It's only like 6 or 7 minutes. That kind of explains how I come to make these decisions with betting and how I pick the winners. I mean, if you're doing 55% or above in sports betting, you're doing great. And my record, it's posted online. It's non-negotiable. If I go through a rough month, like I did in March, you leave it up there. It proves you're not immortal. It proves on the people's better. You know, I send videos every day, you know, to my friends and just give them the link to the page and have them see what they want, and they can either ride or they don't. You know, all I want to do is get the word out there that you can make money. You can make money in sports betting. You can make money on basketball. You can make money on spring football. And that's going to be my goal in these live streams every Sunday, is to go over, recap any UFL games that we've seen over the weekend, and we're going to win some money. 2-2 on the weekend so far. Went 1-1 today. Friday I got cooked. Or Friday I won. Saturday I went 0-1, and today I went 1-1. And I did not post any basketball picks today. So I did like Alabama. I thought that they would cover the 7 against Duke, but man, Duke just handled it. So you bet sometimes like $1,000 or $5,000, huh? You got that kind of money? Hey, more power to you. You know, how much I bet? That's for me to know. Never disclose how much I bet. Sorry, I'll never tell you. I think that's bad luck. That's bad juju. So if you could bet that kind of money, if those are your units, then you by all means should do that. And congrats. I hope you double it. And thanks for the follow. I know you said you subscribed, so I appreciate that. And if you're a high roller and you want to tell your friends, no, don't worry about it. You don't know. Just if you want to tell your friends to subscribe and join these live streams, that's what I'd like to hear. We are 22 minutes into the live stream, and I've had, you know, a couple people join in, and I just wanted to wrap this up by saying I will have my daily picks posted every day. Try to make a little clever short with music that pertains to the team I'm making, or things along those sorts. And just that's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. I'll put a little reminder up, and I'll talk to you. Let's win some cash.